So I actually thought we would just jump straight into it and look at this
Mhm.
beautiful leak that was dropped. You got full screen this. I mean,
Definitely.
I got really
It
excited
is so cool.
when I saw this because I've been dying for the slide mechanic.
Mhm.
And my first thought was like, oh, is this for like Taiga? Maybe it's for Halcyon Sea because it's got the underwater water caves.
Oh, right, right.
Which I timing puzzles, I love timing puzzles, so I'm really excited for, like, that and Labyrinth where there's that island where you have to wait to get to it, but then
Mhm.
Alex mentioned on his Twitter, like, an hour ago, that he's busy on the overworld movement updates coming to public beta, so sliding downhill, curving sideways, gliding down, sliding recovery, and grappling hook.
And the grappling hook,
Yeah,
sweet.
and I mean, I knew this was coming. But I
Mhm.
didn't think it was coming yet.
I'm really excited. I like this got me really, really excited. I really hope we do see this in like the next what would be the next private beta 2 for
Yeah.
Overworld, I believe. And I'm really excited. It looks really, really cool. And I love like so like I've played like a lot of I used to play like a lot of Fortnite. I don't play it as often anymore, but they have really good movement, like in my opinion, like really good movement in Fortnite and everything because it's like they have like just different like sliding animations and like mantling and everything like so like being able to like mantle over like a wall or something like that kind
Mm.
of thing and just like different movement aspects and stuff like that that make your character feel so much more dynamic in a sense and it just brings so much more I guess like I mean like entertainment and just like movement and just like it makes it feel more alive too. It makes it feel more engaging too. You can do more and like the movement already feels amazing in Illuvium. So for them to add like sliding and like a grappling hook eventually and everything like that's yeah, I'm super stoked.
But do you think there's anything like, this is all great. I'm glad that they're continuing to add to it because when they drop leaks like this, it really just reminds me how much is still missing from the gameplay, right? It's like we're in
Mm-hmm.
private beta 1. There's gonna be a 2. There might be a 3. We all have our guesses on when we're gonna hit open beta, but there's just so much they haven't added in. Like, just before this meeting, I was re-looking over the Illuvials because
Mm-hmm.
I got on a conversation on Twitter with someone where I was like, "Oh, yeah, Illuvium's great," and I put up a picture of Kukraf, and it was hilarious. They're like Colgate chicken, like the toothpaste. I had to laugh because they were totally right. Th
Yeah,
they were right. I was like, "Yeah, you're right. That's Colgate chicken right there for you." It's still great. It's still
it's
better
still
than
yeah.
Pokemon in a lot of ways, in my opinion. Like, even now, we've only seen half of the Illuvials that are gonna be in, and I think
Mm,
we forget about
true.
that sometimes. Like, there's all these leaks out there
Mm-hmm.
that but there's still 15 more sets of 3 to be released, and we're not even
Mm-hmm.
talking about the tier zeros. More alluvials, more movement mechanics, the plants fighting back, that alone, I'm kind of curious to see how they're
Yes.
gonna implement that.
Along with like all of those things as well as like we don't even have like all the lore implemented. We don't have
Yes.
like there's so
Cutscenes?
much like yeah, yes, and like cutscenes and I like quests. I really hope that they add something along the lines of like questing. And I know that there's gonna be probably like the whole like the main storyline and everything. And I don't know how much they have planned behind like like the whole lore of
Mhm.
things and like are we gonna have like like little like side quests and like branches and tangents to go off of like within the main storyline kind of thing. Like we have like different routes we can go and then come back to the main story. But there's like all of that too as well that we still don't have yet. So we're missing alluvials, we're missing like dynamic like plant interactions and like plants that are trying to kill us and like and all these other things that are going to bring like more life to the overworld and then like more movement mechanics, lore and just everything. And yeah, we're still missing a lot.
Now,
Hmm.
another thing I'm excited for is they're already planning for all these different games, and there are
Hmm.
some games that I'm like, "Oh, that'd be really cool." The Illuvicart Racer, if you take, Super Smash Bros, but with Illuvium, the
Hmm.
first person shooter, which I suck at first person shooter, but I'm excited to try an Illuvium version. Just the idea that my character that I catch in the overworld is going to, like, be applicable in all future games
Hmm.
immediately makes me more tempted to try new games I otherwise might not have, just to see how they're going
Right.
to work. What's
Hmm.
exciting is because 'cause they're already thinking in my mind, like 10 years down the line, they've got at least
Yep.
a dozen games lined up that they want to do. I love how
Mhm.
Illuvitars has slowly evolved from just being a
Yeah, that too.
PFP project to now they're
Mhm.
talking about like an actual kind of card game possibly.
Mhm.
Um More than just the collector game that is already in the works. Like
Right.
eh.
I think that's like also like one of the really cool, unique, very unique aspects that Illuvium is going to have, and like a draw that will add to the potential to draw multiple crowds like into Illuvium, multiple audiences into Illuvium is having different genres. So
Mhm.
like you have like your esports, oops, you have like your esports scene and everything, and then like you introduce like a like the PvP aspect of things, and like you or not PvP, the like the shooter games and stuff like that, and then like you introduce kart racing, and then you introduce like you know you have the Illuvitars and like in that and everything. It's like you build out all these different genres. It's like if enough people are attracted to like just the game itself and it being fun, then you have all these different genres and all these potential pools of players that you can kind of like pull from to bring into like the Illuvium ecosystem, which is like what also like really excites me and like um makes me even more bullish on like Illuvium's future potential kind of thing. Is having all those like especially if like even if like only one of them takes off, right? So if you think about it like that too, it's like what if they have like an esports like shooter that because like Fortnite's huge and everything. Like what if they're like they tap into like that esports scene somehow through like the shooter game, and then that takes off. What if the auto battler the auto battler scene doesn't quite take off, but then their shooter game takes off in like the esports scene, or their shooter game takes off in whatever way kind of thing, and like that just pops off and everything, and then people are like, oh, you're telling me that I can take these same assets and then go into like an overworld and just
Mm.
kind of like roam around and capture Illuvials and like basically play Pokemon like in a, like an upgraded Pokemon in a sense, like at a very fundamental level, and it's like that just wrapping my head around that is what really excites me. Like that's I don't know about you, but that's like
Yeah.
that idea is just like it's again, it makes me really bullish on like Illuvium's potential because it's their vision and their like you're saying like they're like 10-20 year vision that they have. It's ridiculous.
If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to check out the full video in the description below. I'll see you on the flip side.